10-piece checklist. So it's really whittled down to the key pieces that I tend to wear at this time of year. Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Ciara. I share videos on shopping for the best basics on the high street, how to build a capsule wardrobe, and lots of other good stuff. So if that sounds good to you, then do hit subscribe because I would love to have you back for more videos. So in today's video, I am doing my seasonal tradition of the capsule wardrobe checklist video. I like to give a suggestion for an item to have on your checklist. So you don't need to pick up the item that I have. Maybe you have something similar in your wardrobe. It just more so gives you a guideline on focusing on the key basics in your wardrobe. And I always say this time and time again on my channel, I feel like a broken record, but when you focus on really great basics and you build up a good core foundation in your wardrobe, getting dressed every day is so much easier, and that's when you get to start to add little bits of flair and fun with trendier items. Everything that I mentioned will be linked right down in the description below. If anything that I'm showing you is older and is out of stock, I will leave alternatives below. Okay, so item number one in my autumn capsule wardrobe checklist is the humble trench coat. This is still number one as it was last year. It is honestly one of the pieces that I grab the most at this time of year. If you're living here in Ireland or in the UK, you will know all too well about the changeable weather that we have this time of year. That is why the autumn capsule wardrobe is very different to the winter one. It is all about layering and lighter base layers so that you can leave the house and still be comfortable. And this is where a trench coat comes in. It is such a classic. I know it's a cliche, but it is a classic for a reason. I'm still using the exact same three that I recommended last year, and that is the sign of a good capsule wardrobe buy. The first one I mentioned was my heavyweight linen trench coat from Naked Fashion. Absolutely love it. It's a little bit heavier, so it's a great one to throw on when it is a tiny bit chillier, but you don't need a heavy coat. This one is out of stock, but I will link some similar ones in the description below. I also highly recommend the Arquette short trench coat. Again, I picked this up a few years ago now, and it always gets worn, especially at this time of year and also in spring. I always find that every year River Island has a really great lightweight option, and I love going for that at times like this during the year when it's just a little bit too warm for anything heavier. So I do think a trench coat is your first port of call. If you don't have a good one, consider adding it to your checklist. I just feel like if you buy well, you will absolutely get the wears out of it. Over on my LTK page, I publish edits specific to kind of key pieces in your capsule wardrobe. So for example, I have one for the best trench coats that are currently on the high street, and they will all be linked in the description below. Item number two in my autumn capsule wardrobe checklist is the classic blazer. And I know I probably sound like a broken record, but guys, the blazers, they are just the workhorses of our wardrobes. And I know for me personally, it is probably the single item that I wear the most. Show me an occasion where it is not appropriate to wear a blazer. I feel like you can wear them to work, you can wear them to parties, dressy events, dressed up, dressed down. They're the best. I really at the moment am loving And Other Stories for blazers. I feel like they hit that sweet spot of being very affordable for really, really good quality. They're doing wool blazers that are like a 70 to 80% or higher wool composition, which is really good for the high street, and they're doing them for under €200, and often you can get them even in their sales. So I just feel like they're probably the best value for quality that I have found. I also really like brands like Sandro. They can be more expensive, but you can often get them on sale on the outnet. I found ones on eBay, on Vestiaire, and I will link in the description below. I have a dedicated video on the best places to shop for blazers. So if you are looking to find some good ones and you don't know where to start, check that out below. So I would say that my current most worn are both from And Other Stories. One of them is a beautiful grey blazer. They come in this kind of slightly oversized fit. Also, I tend to size up in my blazers. I'll leave the sizing info in the description below. Grey one with the slight shoulder pads. It has like a tiny nip in the waist, nothing too much. It's so chic and goes with every outfit. And then for something different, I really love this check version. Again, a check blazer in autumn is just chef's kiss. It's so autumnal, and I love this version. It has again that structure padding on the shoulders, that little nip in the waist, so flattering. And both of these blazers were under €200, which honestly I think for the quality, for the fabric, is really, really good. The next item I'm going to recommend is a cropped jacket. And this is similar to what I recommended last year. I feel like getting a nice structured jacket. It's not quite a blazer. It's not quite a cardigan. Such a go-to for these kind of in-between seasons. The one that I absolutely adore is the cropped jacket from Sandro. This is a good few seasons old now, so I don't think that you can get it anymore, but there are very similar versions on the high street. The cropped jacket kind of trend in general, I feel like it's been around for the last maybe 2 years, but it really isn't going anywhere. Often I reach for my cropped jackets when I want something that's a little bit dressier than a blazer. So let's say, for example, I'm doing like a satin midi skirt, a tank top, I throw on a cropped jacket and it just adds this kind of chicness to the outfit. I also find that they're great for just like day-to-day events where you don't want to bring your jacket, but you need to be warm. Again, this time of year, we have to kind of be thinking about whether we're bringing coats or not, because oftentimes we'll roast. Picking up pieces like that are key to still staying warm when you don't have a coat. Following on from the cropped jacket, the next piece that I recommend for your autumn capsule wardrobe checklist is a good cardigan. This is something that really has made a huge comeback in the last few years and the last few seasons. It's so chic, but it's also something that's really comfortable, really easy to style multiple ways, and there are some great versions available on the high street right now. The two that I picked up, I think it's over a year ago now, and I've worn them so much, are both from Marks & Spencer. I really rate Marks & Spencer for great basics, especially coming into autumn winter. I bought the cream and the black version. I wore them so much. I even wore them coming into like spring and summer. Again, it's like that in-between season that cardigans are just brilliant for, but thankfully there are so many versions on the high street at the moment. I've seen some amazing ones on H&M. I've seen some great ones again on Marks & Spencer. They've done very similar ones, just in slightly different shades. I feel like those two are probably my top recommendation for finding these kind of heavier knit cardigans. And then if you wanted something lighter and more like a traditional wool cardigan, I would always recommend Cezanne. They do the Gaspard cardigan, which I have in 4 colors. That is how much I love it. And if you want something that's a little bit more knitwear vibes, a bit almost kind of softer and lighter, but still quite warm, the Gaspard is such a good one. It wouldn't be an autumn capsule roundup video if I didn't mention at least one knit. And I know I mentioned the cardigans, which technically class as knits, but I'm talking about now the traditional chunky cozy knit, very similar to what I'm wearing now. And the one that I have to recommend, and if you've been here before, you've probably heard me talk about this, is the Lily Silk cashmere knit. Probably, no, definitely my most worn knit of honestly the last like 3 years. It is a little bit more expensive. I think it comes in at under €200, but my goodness, the cost per wear is there. It is the nicest cashmere jumper or knit that I own, and the grey color is so easy to style with things. It's kind of gotten to the stage where this is like my comfort knit, and I pack it with me for every single trip. It gets thrown over my shoulders when I go to the airport. I often just throw it over my shoulders on so many different outfits when I'm heading out, because I figure if I need an extra layer, that will be it. It has lasted so well, the quality is amazing, and I always get so many compliments on it when I wear it. My only regret is that they don't do it in other colors. So far, I think they just do the gray, but guys, I highly recommend. Often have a discount code for Lily Silk because I have worked with them before. So if that code is still active, I'll link it in the description below so you can get a little bit of money off it, but it is well worth the purchase. Now let's move on to your base layers, and the first item that I'm going to recommend is going to shock no one, and it is your classic t-shirt. This is probably my most recommended item on this whole channel, but honestly I will keep harping on about it because so many of you have been converted to buying a good quality t-shirt. I have 3 that I recommend that cover all your fits, and the first one, if you want a slightly more fitted, not quite a baby tee, but like a bit more of a fitted style, is the Uniqlo fitted tee. So good, and a really great price. Next up, a little bit looser, is the COS clean cut tee, and this is probably my most worn. It's tied between this and the next one. It just depends on what the outfit requires. It has a really nice neckline, so it's the t-shirt that I go for if I'm wearing knits where I want the neckline to be shown, and often with a lot of knits it's nice to have a t-shirt on underneath them. You just feel a little bit more comfortable. Clean cut tee is fantastic. I believe it comes in at under €40. Such a good buy, and really lasts and washes incredibly well. And then the next one, for a slightly more oversized fit, is the Arquette heavyweight tee. Again, this one comes in at just under €40, and it is well worth it. It washes so well, it holds its shape, it's nice and structured. It's a little bit longer than the COS one, so if you have an outfit that requires a little bit more of an oversized fit, then I recommend this one. If you were just getting one, you're gonna have to decide between the Arquette getting COS ones because they're kind of different, but I would recommend starting with one, but eventually maybe having those 3 styles in your wardrobe, because I am someone who wears a white t-shirt 3 to 4 out of 7 days of the week. Like, I'm a basics gal. I'll wear them under my knits, I'll wear them on their own. So I would highly recommend. If you feel like you already have these basics in your wardrobe, maybe consider getting a long sleeve fit. This is great coming into the actual colder winter months, and it also looks really nice on its own, almost like a long sleeve top as well. So I would recommend going for the long sleeves if you already have the shorter version. So the next item on my autumn capsule wardrobe checklist, a heavyweight shirt, specifically a denim shirt. This is something that I actually do live in at this time of year. I have a few different washes and I just feel like it always really works. Not only can you wear your denim shirt buttoned up, especially if you're matching it with your denim jeans, which I'm going to talk about next, you get this gorgeous double denim vibe, which is so on trend at the moment, but it always looks really cool. I especially love double denim worn with like tan accessories or like a lighter trench over it. You can also wear your denim shirt open with a t-shirt or a tank top underneath, just as kind of a layer in itself. You could also look at a heavier weight shirt, maybe like a corduroy or a flannel. I feel like both these fabrics are having such a moment right now, but actually they're quite a practical, easy thing to style into your wardrobe. I've seen some really beautiful like dark kind of printed flannel shirts in muted tones. I've also seen some amazing like corduroy shirt jackets, or shackets as they're commonly known, and it's such a handy middle ground between a shirt and a jacket. I feel like those heavier weight shirts are so handy this time of year. So next up, we're going to move on to our bottoms, and the first item that I'm going to recommend is a pair of denim jeans. And again, this is going to surprise no one, but we all live in our jeans. I know I do anyway. And last year I recommended a looser fit and a tighter fit for you. So the looser fit that I recommended was the River Island straight leg jeans. I still love these. I still wear these all the time. Such a good buy. They come in at under €40 and they are just phenomenal. I have them now, I think in like 5 or 6 washes. There's about 3 that I wear really regularly on rotation. And then I also recommended for a more fitted jean, the Arquette Rose cropped jean, which actually since then has gone out of stock. I don't think they sell that exact style anymore. But recently on my jeans research, I was hearing so much hype about Abercrombie jeans, and I picked up 2 different pairs, and oh my goodness, they are so worth the hype. The one that everyone is loving at the moment is the relaxed 90 straight, and I have to say it does live up to the hype. It is really great. They have this nice kind of subtle stretch in the fabric, so they're really comfortable to wear, which is again what we want in an everyday jean. And they do a bunch of different fits and silhouettes. They also do the different leg lengths, which I really appreciate, and they do the like inches in the waist instead of the dress sizes, which is really handy when you're trying to get your perfect fit. So I picked up the relaxed 90 straight, but I also picked up the relaxed low rise 90s. I'm going to show you a photo of them, but they're slightly baggier. They're basically like the River Island straight leg, but they have a lower fit on the waist, which was exactly what I was looking for. I love the River Island jeans, but sometimes I want something that doesn't come quite as high on the waist. So these are perfect. So depending on what your specific needs are for your jeans, those are, let's say, 4 that I rotate really regularly. So next up in my roundup, we're going to talk about trousers. And once again, a tailored trouser is just such a go-to for me. They're actually even more comfortable than jeans. They feel dressier, but they actually are more comfortable. So I always remember to wear them on days where I just want to be really comfy. I'm running around. Sometimes I don't want the heaviness of a pair of jeans. I have recently discovered COS trousers. COS trousers are usually cut a little bit longer, and it's true, they definitely are. They're actually a little bit too long, so I wear them with heels really well, but sometimes with flats they're extra long. Now look, you can always get them taken up really easily, but I haven't quite found the length for me that's just right. And to be honest, sometimes you need a different length for when you're wearing flats versus when you're wearing heels. It's kind of hard to get a trouser that fits both. So depending on your length, if you're watching this and you're on the petite side, I think Arquette will be the one for you. Whereas if you're on the taller side, or you're taller than me, I'm like 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, then I think COS is your go-to. Both trousers are very similar in terms of quality. They both have the same like thickness. They have really nice darting on the legs. Like they're both tailored really, really well. And actually they're both the same price as well. They come in at just under €100. So I would just say it's a length thing. If you're a little bit shorter, go Arquette. And if you are on the taller side, go COS. So the last item I'm going to mention in my autumn capsule wardrobe checklist is a midi skirt. This is something that I do tend to live in at this time of year. I am a big fan of a mini skirt. I do love wearing them, especially this time of year with like knee-high boots and kind of a longer jacket. But the thing that I tend to grab the most, especially when I want to be comfortable but still chic, is the midi style. Last year I mentioned the plissé style and I still really love that. I find it a little bit more dressy. I have a white version and a black version, both of which I got from H&M. They'll definitely have something similar, and if not, I think I saw one on Marks & Spencer. But what I've been wearing the most this year are my simple cotton material ones from Marks & Spencer. So I bought these, I think it was in the springtime coming into the summer. I bought the same skirt in white and in black, and I just knew when I was buying them that I was going to live in them. They are the perfect fit. They're so comfortable. They come with pockets. They have like that perfect length. They come right down to the ankle, and I throw these on all the time. They're so comfortable. They're perfect in this in-between season. You can chuck them on with a knit. You can wear them with cardigans. You can wear them under your trenches. And again, you can wear them during the day and they're nice and casual, especially depending on what footwear you style them with, but you can dress them up for the evening as well. Especially the black version I have worn with like black waistcoats. It almost looks like a full dress. So if you don't have like a simple cotton, like no pleats, no satin, just a simple cotton midi skirt in this kind of A-line style, I think you'll get so much wear out of it. And of course I do still love a satin midi skirt and I still wear them an awful lot, but I find that I gravitate towards them more for things like date nights or events or occasions where I want to be a little bit like dressy casual, whereas those cotton midi skirts, I just throw them on and they are so chic and just perfect for every day. So there you have it, guys. That is my 10-piece autumn capsule wardrobe checklist. I hope you got some inspiration for how you can frame your capsule wardrobe this year. And as I always mention in these videos, your whole wardrobe doesn't have to be limited to these 10 items. It's just examples of those core pieces that I get the most wear out of. So when I look at where to invest in my wardrobe and where I'm going to spend that money on, I typically tend to look at these categories first because these are the ones that I get my cost per wear out of the most. I have everything linked in the description below. I'll also leave info on sizes, on similar alternatives if anything is sold out, and I'll also leave links to my LTK edits as well, where I have like the best of the high street and I've edits for all of these key pieces that you can shop as well. The next video is going to be focusing on my 10-piece capsule accessories checklist for autumn. So that's where we're going to look at the footwear, the accessories, the belts, the hats, the bags, the shoes, everything that ties all of this together. If you liked this video, please do give me a thumbs up to let me know, and if you have not already, then be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single week and I would love to have you back for more. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!